Building a brand new community from the ground up is no small feat, but it almost happened right here in North Carolina. About 50 years ago in a rural county about 2 hours northeast of the Piedmont Triad, just under an hour outside of Durham. The purpose of this new city was to create jobs, housing, and opportunity for all people. This morning, we share the story of America's first freestanding community.
50 years ago, this former slave plantation was prepped and primed to one day become a rural utopia.
It was extremely audacious.
5,000 acres of dirt in the middle of Warren County, one of the poorest counties in the country, would be converted to a buzzing community that would eventually grow to 50,000 people with neighborhoods, businesses, and schools.
Yeah, it was a complicated project.
And most importantly, it would be diverse, a feature many towns in the 1960s rural South didn't have.
We thought we could have a new community and that reflected the population, and there were opportunities spread throughout just building the communities.
Floyd B. McKissick Sr., attorney and civil rights activist, was the visionary behind the town. His son, Floyd McKissick Jr., and son-in-law, Lou Myers, were there with him from day one.
He dreamed of it as a city that would be located in the South, in a place where it had a high outward migration rate. And when I say that, people have been leaving the South to go to the Northeast looking for jobs and opportunity, but ending up in urban ghettos frequently.
Floyd Sr. recognized that outmigration was one of the big reasons rural towns weren't successful. Thus, the plan for a new community was born, and he would call it Soul City.
Floyd was he was ahead of his time, I think, in terms of understanding the need for economic development, trying to put together a program to address that. And so that's what Soul City was.
It was a bold concept at that time, especially with a black man being the face of the project, a man who, through his civil rights work, had created as many enemies as he did allies.
I'm sure he had enemies along the way. I mean, there's no doubt about that. He was somebody who was very determined. He was somebody who likewise not only believed in dreaming about a better America, but wanting to make America better, wanting to tear down barriers of discrimination. He had fought for that in the civil rights movement. He had fought for equal rights and opportunities for all. He had fought for desegregation of public schools. He had fought to make sure that public accommodations were open to all.
But adversity was never a deterrent for McKissick. He was determined to find a way to make Soul City happen, and he set out to find the funding to do so.
HUD came out with a new communities program because of the urban problems. The 60s were very active.
Yes.
And so they thought that new communities might help because cities were, just full. You had to submit a massive amount of documents because the government would basically lend you money and you needed to pay it back in 30 years.
The New Communities program awarded McKissick Enterprises $14 million to start the town. On November 9, 1973, ground officially broke on Soul City in a grand ceremony.
There was a lot of excitement that day. I mean, the Governor Holshouser flew in on a helicopter, and declared it Soul City Day for the state of North Carolina. All of the top elected officials in that area of the state were there. You had a representative from the White House who was there. As I recall it, Bob Brown was there that day. So, he was a senior advisor to the president at that time. So you had a wide variety of leaders who were there excited about the groundbreaking for Soul City, excited about its potential, excited about what would come forth from this amazing dream that my father had.
This new town McKissick dreamt up had all the makings of the American dream, and it seemed to be off to a promising start.
It was something he was determined to pursue, and he was determined to come up with a plan, to come up with the resources, and come up with a means of carrying that dream forward and bringing it to fruition.
But the troubles that would lead to its demise were not far behind.
Yes, there were challenges, but there were challenges that we were overcoming.
So only 13 towns were granted funding from the government through HUD's 1968 New Communities program. By 1977, Soul City was one of only 6 that were still thriving. A government audit just 1 year later would be the beginning of the end for Soul City. But as I'll show you in part 2 of this series, the major accomplishments during the short life of the town left a mark on that region that's still felt today.